Welcome to the Fractured Families podcast. I'm Charity, your dedicated parental alienation coach, here to guide and support families as they navigate the challenges of high conflict divorces and custody battles. On this podcast, we'll share insights, practical strategies, and hope for those on the journey toward healing and justice. Whether you're personally experiencing these challenges or just want to learn more about the complexities of parental alienation and custody disputes, you're in the right place. You are not alone. This is the Fractured Families podcast, where every voice matters and every story is heard. And if you find my conversation helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us reach more families who need it. Hi, I'm Charity, the host of the Fractured Families podcast. I have with me today a couple, Sonny and Sarah. They're going to talk about the relationship that she had with her ex-husband and how his intentional sabotage of the relationship she has with her daughter, his past experience or current with the police department, and how he is single-handedly trying to ruin her life, their life, and their daughters. Thank you both for being a guest. Let's start with Sarah, the marriage.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was actually my preschool boyfriend. Weren't strangers, like we've known each other literally 37 years now. Our families grew up together. We went to school since care together.
Was your daycare?
Yeah, his mom kept me and my sister in daycare. So he was cute, little blonde-headed, blue-eyed boy, tiny, so small. And I adored his mom, Miss Charlene. I got so excited. Every time I saw her, she was the coolest thing to me as a kid, cool growing up. So after, we didn't date or anything in school, but after high school, my dad ran into his mom and said that Justin needed a good girl, so he should hit me up. So this was back in MySpace day. He reached out to me on MySpace. I was in Arkansas at my aunt Lisa's, and I was pretty pumped up because, Miss Charlene said, recommended me. So anyways, we kind of talked back and forth. We all already knew each other our whole lives anyway. And then we started to just date, and then we got engaged and on the beach. We had our wedding actually planned in March for spring, but his brother's girlfriend at the time, now wife, she was really jealous and wanted to get married first. So then they had to get engaged, and then she moved her wedding the weekend before mine. And so I moved, of course, bridezilla, I guess. I moved mine up, and we got married on Valentine's Day, which with his mom and dad, they were married on Valentine's Day too. So it was kind of special, and so now we're married. It was 2009 Valentine's Day. He was actually in school to be an engineer, but his whole family are cops, and so he wanted to follow in their footsteps. And so he started working at the corrections office, the jail, first. He was only 20 years old, and then he had to be 21 to be on parole. So, a parole officer. So he started working at the jail, and everything was still, I guess, fine. We've been married months. He wasn't anything at that, really controlling. He didn't learn that behavior yet. But once he got to start being a patrol officer, that's when the controlling started. He would come home. I would tell him so many times. I've even said this just like this month to Sonny. He talks to me like an inmate. Coming home, and I would always tell him, stop talking to me like an inmate. Just talk to me like normal. I couldn't do it. And then it started where I couldn't go shopping with my mom. He would show up wherever I was, but in the form of, hey, I was going to bring you $50 so you could shop. I'm like, well, I'm with my mom. Why are you even following me like that? I couldn't really have a job, but then I would be talked about for not having a job. but I had to stay home. But if I'm staying home, then why aren't you working? I go work, and then that's horrible. Now there's multiple cops circling my workplace, showing up all the time, circling all the time. Any of my family, any of my friends would be pulled over to see, like, if I was with them. I got to the point where I never even left the house. I had a lovely recliner, like an old man.
A bluebird in a cage.
I sat by the window every day. I had my daughter in 2011. And so I wanted to stay home with her. So at that point, I guess I didn't realize it was a big deal because I wanted to be with her. And I stayed home the 3 years of her life, raising her, sign language, had her body trained at like 1 year old or younger. Because every time I'd go to the potty, I'd just sit her on hers because we're home together, you know? But also, he would work 2-month days, 2 months of nights. So those nights, I would want to like go stay with my mom, you know, and I couldn't go anywhere. He would come. Unfortunately, we only lived like maybe a mile from the police station. He was always coming in, just looking.
Yeah.
So this is going way back. I haven't even thought about this stuff in over a decade. But that's kind of how it started. And then it just got worse from there, especially whenever I was wanting to leave. Naturally left multiple times, but I'd always come back because I couldn't see my kid. He wouldn't let me see her, so I had to come back.
To him, because you have to go through him so much. You have to say that before you say that.
But like his uncle works for the state police. His other uncle, I've heard, worked at the FBI, probably retired. I'd assume, I don't know. Both, he had 2 grandpas that were chief of police. His grandma works paralegal for the ex-sheriff's son. So kind of just stuck. You can't do anything right. Everything you do is wrong. Following you around. I've been left, obviously. Actually, about 2:00 in the morning. One day, I had been collecting stuff from Ross. It's cheap. Take anything. I didn't pair of socks. Take anything. Buying pots and paint, buying clothes, and putting it under the seat of my car.
A hostage trying to escape. A hostage getting ready to escape.
One morning at 2:00, I left, and from that point, I never did go back.
Can I jump in here? So I showed up.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was in Alexandria at the time, 2009. I didn't know them. They were from an area that I grew up around that area, but I didn't know them. They're younger than me, and I was in Alexandria and New Orleans and everything. But when I moved up into the picture is when she was basically in a cage on a recliner. That's where she spent, and she would either do that or she would clean. And just because it was almost like, was it Cinderella in there that cooks, cleans and stuff? And I can vouch for the fact that when I got there, I came to where they live as a youth. I was a youth junior high pastor at a church in Alexandria, but I was also working. It's what they call a co-ministry or whatever, or working. So I was working a job. I wasn't getting paid to do the ministry like some people do. I worked a job, but still did a full-time ministry. I loved it. It was junior high age Jason's at now, and I loved it. Nobody wanted it, but I loved it. They're such a good age, and they're real, and you can help mold them, because that's a bad age. The 2 hardest people to pursue are inmates and not kids. I mean, it's an age where kids can be just unknowingly mean. I mean, you know what I mean? And they're just trying to changing, and it's weird. And so anyway, it was perfect, man. And also you can't keep their attention long, and I move around really fast, so it's just like we all fit in. It's like I got. So I was junior pastor at that church. But I wanted to be full-time ministry, and their pastor, the church she grew up in and brought him into, they were different religions, and she brought him into that church. Matter of fact, every friend he has, she introduced him to, but anyway, so she was at that church that hired me to be the student pastor. and she was on staff with the kids or with the youth group. And so, when you're the student pastor or whatever like that, it comes with, you got to be careful because it comes with people trying to get in good with you, whatever. You have people so-called what they call brown nose, and you're trying to get, spot on the first choir or whatever, first row. And I wouldn't know that. And anyway, but she never did that. Like, people, I'm getting my staff members, my team here. What have I got? Who's this and who's got this talent? And I'm trying to assemble a good team, because you got to have that to use kids. And she was there as a shining star because everybody else was talking about what they could do. And she come up to me, and all she did was walk up to me, and she handed me a piece of paper. It had names and times on it. And I said, "What is this?" She said, "That's where every kid goes to school. That's what time their lunch is. I go eat with them on Mondays and Fridays. You want to come, you come on." She was actively involved in the youth ministry. And so I started to lean on her. And as the student pastor, you got to have that person. Look, she's pinching me right now, just like she'd be waving because I'm preaching too long. Like she's tapping my leg. I need that. The Lord is my what I want, but I came in the picture. And so here's why it's important. So when I came, and I remember going to Justin and telling Justin how great of a staff member she was. And this plays a part. Now that it's dropped in the mix, you'll see it all, the thread of this all throughout. You'll see a pattern in it. But then I didn't catch it. And he started saying, but then I started realizing all the men there do it, but we'll get into that too. So he says to me, instead of, "That's great, man, I'm so happy for it." No, nothing like that. He said, "Well, let me tell you something." And he did that about everybody, but it started with her, and he was like, she's crazy. And she gets it honest. She gets it. And everybody, all the females are crazy, and they're just, if they don't do what you say do, they're crazy. And tried to get me to, basically didn't want her to have any recognition or any kind of adoration or anything. You know what I'm saying? It's get back, and I constantly tried to talk me into not letting her be on youth staff. And I wasn't having it because I needed her. She was help. And we did great things. It was awesome. But I attest that she'd be up on that couch, and man, me would go to walk, exercise together. Me and him were friends, if you say that, but I don't think he was just there to watch me. I don't even think he ever really cared about me. I think he was just there to make sure she wasn't over at my house. And we wasn't even like that. I got to get some water.
Let me ask a question. So you leave, what year was it when you left the house?
Okay, that would have been 2013.
So you sneak out in the middle of the night.
Yes.
And what happens then?
Well, I actually drove 2 hours straight to Sonny because we were friends.
We were. I got her hotel room because she was kicked out of the house. She's my friend.
So I went straight to him. I drove 2 hours away straight to him. And here we are still.
Okay, so you go to Sonny. He gets you a hotel. You have your daughter.
No, I did not have her. He would not let me take her. He would not.
So you left your daughter.
Yes.
Because he controlled her.
He could not take her. Anytime I did try to leave, he would take her and go to one at the state trooper's house,
and
his
say,
uncle.
"If you leave me, you'll never see her again."
And so I could not go over there. I could not get her or see her. Told me and many family members, we even have texts from way back then of him saying that if I ever left him, that he would make sure I never saw her again.
And so it's still trying to do that. And still
to this day, doing that.
And so we let it, or we stop it. And it's no pause. There's no reasoning. It's that's what he wants to do, and that's it.
How old was she at that point? At that point, she was 2.
Tell about the Where's Sonny? Where's Sonny?
She was 2. No, I have the cutest video where she was probably 1 of her shaking a buggy saying, "Where's Sonny? Where's Sonny?"
Because she'd always been my little buddy. We would shoot butterflies at the pool with she was my little buddy. She was screaming LSU football with me. I mean, I never have been good with kids. I can't hold them. To me, that the babies don't look as cute as everybody says they do to me. I'm sorry, I'm not good with kids. Look at me. I would drop it. And she just walked up to me and handed me Jason and said, "Hold her like football."
It was before she could walk. He's
we've
not
been buddies since then. You know what I'm saying?
She wasn't even walking. That's why I had to hand her to him. We had just had a
Just
gathering,
right there.
whatever,
We just
instead
took to
hold
each
her like
other.
a football.
We just took to each other. I mean, we've been friends. Well,
So that was a relationship with you two from a working relationship, and then your daughter knew Sonny through that working relationship. You leave the house. He doesn't let you take her. What happens then?
Well, at that point, I filed for a divorce, paid the whatever, and had it drafted up, and he was served at work at the police station. That's a no-no. He was very embarrassed about that. And it convinced me to drop the whole thing. He was like, "Why don't we just go through my grandmother? Since she works here and does this, she can just type us up something, and we can keep it out of the courts." I'm like, "Fine, I'll go get my money back and cancel the whole thing." Dumb, because then I had been served, I went and served those because it was his people's office. We just went up there here and there. He would typed up about 4 different divorce agreements because he would type up one and he would be like, you can only see your daughter if you're at your parents' house, thinking that would scare me off and make me come back. Well, I signed it. I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this again. That wasn't good enough. So he would have his grandma type something else up and be a little bit more of something, well, then you can't see her or Sonny can't see her, and then sign it and turn it back in. This went through about 4 different times. So, I mean, my fault for just signing my child's life away, really. But that's how bad I just want out and wanted to be done. So that's when it drug out. Just a regular divorce with one part signing just everything you would think would have went away right then.
Changes.
But this went on for maybe 2 years before divorce was even possible. And I didn't have a house. He would take my car. I left my car in the driveway. I didn't take my dining room set, my shoes, my kid. I didn't take nothing. I left. But that went on for a while. In June.
Well, in the divorce paper she drew up that he talked her out of, she was very humble. She just wanted out. I just want out. 50-50 custody. We'll work things out. I mean, just cordial. Just let me get away. Just let me go.
I
and so
said no child support.
No child support. Wasn't going to come after him. I was just, look.
No spousal support. Like no house. Remember that. Like just let me go.
That's important to remember that because that's what she had offered. He wanted. And he goes, no, we won't do. And he got grandmother. And little did we know, well, now we got whatever we want. You know what I'm saying? And it could change. And you'll see as we continue, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just different boards. It's just crazy.
During that 2 years, what was your parenting time like?
Before?
So after you leave the house and you're going through this 2-year divorce battle, did you have time with your daughter?
Very little. I could only see her at basically like now at my parents' house. I knew I couldn't take her anywhere. Let's see, eventually she turned 3 and we're still going through the divorce. We had a birthday party. Sonny had been to the first 2 parties as a friend, but he to this one. So
because I gave him a place to land.
Me and Justin had on matching clothes and went to this 3rd birthday party that we put on together. Eventually, Sonny got an apartment, but it was in the same parish, but it wasn't. It was like the neighboring city, like a West Monroe, and then Monroe. It was on the Monroe side, so that way he still had people, but I didn't feel like he could drive over there and mess with me.
So, but when you were with your daughter during those times, how was that relationship like with her?
With her, I mean, perfect. She was still like a little innocent baby.
Okay.
But I mean, perfect. There's never been any issues with our relationship. And I would say March is when it started seeming
all of a sudden it just got weird.
Like bad vibes, wouldn't look me in the eyes. And that started March this year. Just all of us and of this year did not like certain people, like her best friend. All of a sudden, she's like, I don't even like her. I don't even want to. I don't even.
Best
I'm like,
buds.
but as soon as she
Peas in a
would get
pod.
to our house, she'd run in there and start FaceTiming, planning their summer together. No time before has there ever been any issue until just with our relationship until right now.
Okay, so then you finally get divorced.
Mhm.
And at this point, you two are in a relationship, and he's clearly not happy about that.
Yes. He in the final divorce paper, it still said that she could not be around my live-in boyfriend. We did not even live together. We had some pretty decent amount of times together, went a lot of places together, but we did not actually live together.
No, at her apartment or somewhere. But here's the reason why he dislikes me. You got to think about it. Because when I got there, he had tried to make me think she was crazy. And like when he kicks her out, he's thinking she ain't got nowhere to go. He had her mom, and it still got her dad food, but had her mom food up till not a couple of years ago. I mean, her mom he was just, what's wrong with you? Said he was doing prayer sessions with her, but then when her husband left, he partnered with her husband. Anyway, so it's deep. Yes, but the problem with me is that I gave her out. Like he made it to where when he kicked her out, she had to come back. She couldn't go home to her mom and dad because he's got them on his side. Everybody he's done went up to and did that thing he did with me and tried to prefabricate. She's crazy. If you see her in the streets, bring her back to me because she's crazy. I mean, that's what it was like. And I didn't bring her back. You know, I could tell that she was oppressed. It felt like, you know what I mean? And just by watching him, and I was friends with him and her and was trying to, at the time as student pastor, I had problems with my marriage. They had problems with theirs, and I was trying to help. We were trying to help each other, and it just, it wound up being where we wound up being together. But the problem is I gave her a place to fly away in light and not have to come back and land in there.
Right.
And so, oh my God, how he probably feels me.
During that trying to get a divorce phase too, I went and got a job at Payless. Love those. Thankfully, just one couple weeks ago, gave me a safe to work and be me.
It wasn't just with seeing JC.
I had to stay at my mom's before and then you got me an apartment on the other side. But at this time, when I was working there, just started, I had to stay at my mom's, and that's how I got to see my daughter. But while I was working there was constant cops circling the building. And out there, whenever I would be getting off of work, we closed at 9, so like 9:15, 9:30, they would be out there. They would circle me. They would follow me. They would pull my friends over.
Looking for you.
Looking for me. This is the time that we're going through a divorce. But he would send flowers and send food up there to my work too. Real uncomfortable. Still like stalking me, but trying to woo me to come back at the same time. Like, I don't know. It's like a mind blow.
When did that finally stop?
The multiple
Wooing you, trying to win you back.
Man, that would have been when we got married.
Maybe. I mean, I think sometimes he peacocks around. I don't think he ever will try.
At that point, I think it became more anger and punishment. We got married 11 days after my divorce was final. It took long. So, it was 11 days after final that we were married. And so that maybe was
Vegas.
She's really not coming back. So then it turned into we've just got to.
Yep. So during this divorce, did you ever have a custody hearing in front of a judge?
Yes, the divorce. Yes, we went in front of a judge and it was ruled 50-50 joint custody. There would be no child support, that Justin would pay for her private schooling through 12th grade, and that he pay for her insurance all her life or whatever. But at that wasn't any like you get her this this time, you get her that day, you know, specific. We just worked it out. So with his police schedule, he worked Wednesday, Thursday, or he worked Monday, Tuesday, every other weekend. And so that was what I made my schedule at Payless, was I was off Thursday every other weekend. Those were just communicated among us, the schedule that we were going to have. It was just 50-50 joint custody. There was no detailed as to what it was going to be. So that's what we decided we were going to do. What his schedule was, that's what made my schedule.
But it had to be at your mother's house.
Yes, until he
It's
got
still
me
that
that
way.
apartment. Well, it's
Still that
right
way.
now. I have to in that parish, and it's in our last 2021 papers that I have to stay in Washita Parish, and I have to stay either, it specifically says, at my mom's, who lives here, or at my buddy, which is my papa, who lives here, but I cannot go anywhere else. Stay with my grandparents or my mom.
So there was never a time where your daughter lived in the home with you two at all?
Us
No,
two?
no,
And
not.
all, yeah,
He's
all.
always been, the first divorce papers say that he was the primary parent, the initial papers, and it's never changed from there. Which, because he told me that if I would give him that he would pay for her to go to private school and pay for her insurance. And I was like, yeah, sounds good to me. And so that's why the final divorce document gave him primary custody, and I've never
She
got it
wasn't trying
back.
to be confrontational.
I've gotten
She just,
less
that's
and less
fine.
time.
You want to be the number one, as long as I can spend time with her, no big deal. But you don't realize at the time, hindsight's 2020, that okay, but we just
Mhm.
it's been, and
Yeah.
it's all been a planned, plotted, checked off, and we're jumping way ahead with the Saturday thing. But I just realized that she's still having to have supervised visitation. So we did not second to last, the second emergency order, basically because we give him 60 days notice written that we were moving. First of all, I did. I shook his hand and said, "Hey, I got a great opportunity. It's going to be better for me and Sarah and JC as well, when she can stay with us and moving out of state." And I told him, shook his hand. And first of all, the non-custodial parent doesn't have to give the 60-day written notice. Another thing you'll find, always rules that are extra rules that are his law that just don't make sense. But so we went down there to fight that thing. Had to go get money and go get a lawyer. He took JC for 5 solid months. 5 months. He was trying to come get her on our visit for Valentine's Day. An ice storm was hitting, and he knew that she would get stuck over there with us. And oh my God, if she's there 7 days, she'd make her go ask to live there. So I mean, it's just, the Bible says the wicked flee when no man pursueth. And so he's freaking out, wanting to drive through an ice storm. We got pictures of that stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like ice storm. The state troopers are saying, his people are saying, stay off the road. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's dangerous. If they've shut down I-20, there's no reason to driving. She's not going to be in school, so we was going to keep her a couple extra days. And we sent pictures of her every day to him, where she was doing her math homework. She was exercising in the gym. We were letting him know, hey, everything's cool. She's fine here. This is what she's doing. She's doing her homework. So he wouldn't worry about it. But oh man, that was the wrong move. So he comes in, when he does come get, he just texts, and we know when it's coming. You know when it's coming. I mean, and so we knew, but it was 5 months. Second time, one time it was 3 months. It's 5 months, and it's always Mother's Day and Easter. What are 2 holidays that mom is supposed to be? It's those days, and we'll have to get into the mother situation so much, but so when we went to, I'm just trying to say about Saturdays, when we went to get him to give us back our time with JC, and it's so he's in the wrong. We had 100 violations on him about some things we can go about later, and went with that, and we're tired of this. We went with these violations. We got a law from down in Lafayette that was, like, thought was going to come up there and do some damage, and they didn't even look at the stuff. They didn't even look at the violations on it. It was like, Sarah had told me, I said, well, what did they say? She said she had that time. Did they get the stuff? Did they not have the information? It was all stuff Justin was saying. And so we were just trying to get our child back and take it away from us without cause. No emergency order was, and so we just want stop. Just let us get our time back. We just want to see JC, and so in that one, he slid in another little rule, and two of them actually, and it's all stuff to you have to text him every week before 5 o'clock to let him know that you will be coming to get JC on Friday. So Sarah has got to reach out to him every Wednesday at 5 o'clock to let him know. I told her, I said, can't you just text him one Wednesday and say I'm coming forever and to be done? No, it's got to be done. And so, and then where she can't.
So let me ask a question.
Go ahead.
I want to get some clarity here. So what you're talking about is during the custody hearing and arrangements, the judges weren't taking your evidence of his
Not at all
violations into consideration. So you're saying that the family court actually sided with him. And why do you think that was?
Well, I mean, good old boy network. You got to back blue, you know, you can't.
Yep.
They know, they look at it. They know you have to know this is wrong, but they can't throw one of their own under the bus. We got to lift him and give him another promotion, you know, and give him more power to do even more next time.
It was so bad. Our lawyer at the time, who had been around some stuff, I mean, you could tell she had, wherewithal about it. It shocked her. She was like shell shocked, and Sarah was like, "We told you." Like the hearing officer was literally talking about her age and how young she was, and but her doing the thing, and just was like, "Man, it's
always have a time and date stamp of everything printed out, you know." So I have legit details and facts, but I get told that we're not looking at this. They're not going to look at it. They probably did look at it and saw, crap, this is bad. Like, you can't do this. And then, so then they put it out. Like, you know what? Let's just let this be a wash.
Yeah.
Wash it.
Except it didn't come out with a wash, because it came out with her having to text him every Wednesday, pay child support, that was like an ungodly amount of. She wasn't the bread when they were married, but it was a godly amount of money based on what she made. I was like, and what we made, it just was like, it didn't make sense. We never got an answer for that. And then she had to pay him and not through the child support, just bring it to him to his front door. But then she had to do this. So this is what come out of this. And then now JC can't come to Birmingham on her weekend visits anymore. Came out of this. She has to stay in.
What year did that happen?
That was 2021.
That's what Birmingham.
So during when you leave in 2013, right? And you guys get married in 2015, if I'm doing the math. So from 2015 to 2021, you had 50-50, as long as it was at your mom's.
I had, once we got married, she could start coming to our home. To be married. Before he was a boyfriend. And then that's like a no-no. So, which is another reason we just got married 11 days after, you know, like, let's just move on now.
Well, he was able to stay with his new wife before they were married, all right? Jesse was staying there. Was it?
I've heard that.
So
from age 4 to 10, approximately for age 4 to 10, you still had parenting time. Things were difficult, but
we were all hanging out again, you know. So
yeah, from when we got married in 2015 up until 2018, it was 50-50. That's when we did Wednesday every weekend, Wednesday, Thursday every other weekend, and we just rotated holidays. I think we did like 1 week in the summer, you know, just we just talked about it and did it like that. It was 2018, and when I didn't see her for maybe 2 months, 1 to 3 months.
So what do you think triggered that?
I know. We moved from when he was cool with us and his real. We moved to Lake Louisiana, and that's what happens. He started making money, become prosperous.
Got it.
You got to work. So JC's coming back home because she's catching live hermit crabs. You know what I'm saying? We got a pirate park in her going to, and she's starting to rollerblade at a skate park. I got a picture of her, man. She's about this tall out there on rollerblades, like cutting old amps. And so she's active and stuff and athletic and explorative. And so she's got lots to do, and I got lots of energy. So we run around singing 12 Days of Christmas at the nights and having fun together. And there's lots to do, and go and hiking and go to the ocean. And so coming home as a child, like 3-5 years old, and talking about stuff she did. And so she went to the ocean with me, but that's not the Gulf of America, I'm sorry, is not a real ocean to them. You didn't go to the real ocean. That's and then you see that start. Well, that's not a real ocean. Well, that's not a real.
And two, it's all the little kid excited go saying about the new things that you saw and new things and fun things.
I call crabs.
But also,
kind of you know what I'm saying?
As soon as she gets in the car with him, he starts just going off, just detectives now. So he starts doing his detective work, asking her questions. What did you do? What did this look like? Well, what does your bedroom look like? Well, how many is this and how much of that? Well, what was in your refrigerator? And just
playing good cop and bad cop.
And the questioning and getting her to say. So, I mean, she'd be pumped up about things, and she may kids, she might be like, well, Mom didn't have some milk last night, so I didn't have my pink milk. And then it's, now she don't have groceries.
Yeah.
Child,
yeah.
and it's
everything. So you have to just be on the eggshells all the time. I mean, it's Sonny's crazy. He's crazy. He's crazy. I mean, just
Well, here's the thing. He wants her to be miserable when she's with you. He wants her to be unhappy, and they take any opportunity to make you out to be the bad parent. So if you don't have pink milk, then you're unfit.
Oh yeah.
If you take her to the ocean, well, that's dangerous. What happens if she gets sucked away? So they want to create fear so that when they're with you, they don't enjoy themselves. But it starts to create anxiety and fear in the child too.
We notice that she has anxiety. It's common. I mean,
so you said you started to notice some.
He gets sick. Like he's physically sick, and she has to and she feels bad.
Sorry, I have to go to my mom.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I gave you a headache.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Throwing up, headache, or even and this is her words, I'm not there to see it, said that he will lay in the bed days before she comes, just making her feel so bad that she's about to come over here or wherever a baby living at the time to come to me.
Yeah. I mean,
so 2018 rolls around, you relocate, and he starts to get more jealous because she's having fun. And then you said you had to go back to court in 2021. What happened from 2018 to 2021?
2018, I had to go back to court also.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. That was where we had just moved. It was
again.
Lake Charles. It was 3.5 hours, not a big deal. I do all the driving anyways. I want to see my kid. I'm not trying to uproot her life and her school. I'm the one driving over there. My family's there. I want to.
So she would come all the way from Birmingham to pick JC up, and all the way from Lake Charles, doing all of the drive.
Right, I do all the drive.
So they wouldn't put them out at all. It's just JC's going to a different place this weekend in a little town.
It's the weekend. People travel. People do things on weekends. It's the weekend. You don't have to stay at home.
Then she got to meet people from South Africa and learn different cultures and stuff down there. I mean, she was expanding. It was expanding, her mind and what she got to see, a culture. I mean, to be well traveled is to be wise, and so she's learning and seeing different things. And it should be a wonderful. It should be something you're happy about, I would think. That's all I'm saying. And it wasn't.
So now we're down there, and it's 2018, and I worked at McFarland's. It's a Celtic pub, 32-ounce bone-in steak.
Real deal Celtic pub, like they wear kilts.
It's one. I wear kilt every day. It's one of the top 5 or 3 places to visit in Southwest Louisiana. Funnest thing I've ever done. It was fun. But I worked Monday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And I was off every single weekend because I would go back to where my daughter was to spend the weekend with her.
You don't get to hire her unless she gets the days off that she's going to be with JC off. She just, I won't do it. and I don't blame her.
Yep.
So
I'm going down there every weekend, spending time with family. Sometimes she would come to Lake Charles too. It's 3.5 hours. It's not that tough of a weekend, And then
especially when you drive to Colorado.
it was St. Patrick's Day. It was going to be St. Patrick's Day weekend. It's a big thing down there. It's a big thing.
Irish pub, man.
So they were going to have magicians, flamethrowers,
butterfly releases, helicopter rides. I mean, it was just, right there in downtown Lake Charles, but you know what I'm saying, in a cool little area. It was going to be fun. I'm sorry. I'm just chiming in. Amen corner.
Listen, so I was going, his mom, Miss Charlene, remember, I was just obsessed with her. So she's going to pick JC up. They've rented at the Golden Nugget, has like a lazy river, all kinds of stuff. And she bought stuff. I think her sister had just passed and bought some butterflies to release. So his mom,
psyched up, bro,
is going to be my designated pick up and bring her to Lake Charles, and we're having this weekend. So because
her mom was coming down there anyway to say she was just going to bring her down, and that way she could spend some time and ride with her. That's one I'm going to notate that here. She's always willing to give time to the family members that get alienated, and
I share my time.
Okay.
So
she had bought.
She thought she was cool anyway. That was the coolest person. So
yes, so she bought her all this green stuff, the butterflies, and then she takes her son Justin about the thing she bought, and he pretended to be excited and wanted to meet her at Chick-fil-A to see all of these things. He gets there excited.
Put yourself in her shoes. Her son's going to get to see that I bought this for your granddaughter and be proud of it. She's happy to show him, thinking he's actually going to be like, oh, that's great up to you or something. That's awesome. Like it was going to. So imagine when
he had her at Chick-fil-A, so that way she couldn't go get her from school. It was all a setup. So I'm coming. So she calls me hysterical when she found out. Hysterical. They won't let me get her. They won't let me get her. I'm at work. We've got this St. Patrick's Day celebration going on. And really at that time, it didn't register what was going on. I thought he was just mad because I'm not there, or what. I don't know what it could be, but it didn't register that I'm not going to see her again from this day forward until I go to court and fight it. So I just continued. I think we worked like 15 hours that day. It was a big celebration. And so then the next weekend, it's my weekend, of course. No documents. That's something we just discussed on our own. I'm moving a little bit further away. There's no need in, wake up early or her to wake up early to get to school. He offered me verbally all days I would have every weekend. I'm like, well, that's great. I'm down here anyways. So verbally, it was my weekend. So I was going down there to lunch with her since my previous weekend was just taken and I didn't. So I'm just there to eat lunch with her. I go to sign in and they're like, okay, she'll be down in a minute. She never showed up. Her grades started passing by. Never walked down the hall. I finally asked the front desk, this is a private Christian school. I'm asking them, where's my kid? Like, I'm here to eat lunch. Somebody in the background messed up and was like, oh, she's not even here. I'm like, what do you mean she's not here? And they're like, no. And it was multiple people coming in and out. No, it's here. I'll take you to her. No, she's not.
That's like some Wonderland. You go to an office of a Christian high to sign your out for lunch, and all of a sudden people don't know where you're, and it's a little child traumatized that says they took her.
Is she here or is she not here?
You got to think
she
about
wasn't on.
That's crazy.
So I went to look at the sign out sheet, and I was like, she hasn't been signed out. And so now I'm starting to freak out. Like, this is the first time it's happened. It's not today. This has been a long time ago. So I'm panicked. I'm running down the hall, picked up her. I saw her backpack, her lunch bag. I come running down the hall. I was like, where is she? Principal finally came out. He's 8 foot tall. Yeah, I'm 5'2", just for the record. He's like humongous. He was laughing at me, telling me, well, where's the court papers that says that you get this weekend? I'm coming to get her. I was there to eat lunch. I wasn't checking her out. I just wanted to eat lunch because I had missed and I didn't want her to think, mommy didn't show up.
Yeah.
So anyways, that went on and on. I finally, I got a text from the church that I had grew up in that he was going to. But that was something else. I just walked away and left everything I ever knew. But we still got their text, their chain. So I got a text that said there's been an emergency in Justin's family, that he wouldn't be able to take the youth group on, wherever they were going, and to please pray. So now I'm really freaked out.
She don't know where her daughter's at.
I don't know where she's at.
Yeah.
Has somebody had a wreck? Was she airlifted out of here? Like, I don't know. And so I leave and I called the sheriff's office. They laughed at me on the phone and said, yeah, we know, and hung up on me.
Yeah.
At more than one time, I would call back hoping. I got an older lady one time, and she started to say something. But then, I don't know, a man came and he grabbed the phone and he just hung up on me. So I didn't know what to do. Nobody's answering my call. No one's answering my text. So I had to drive 3.5 hours back to Lake Charles with an empty car seat or like booster seat, and just had no idea where she was or what happened. I was sick. I was sick for a long time. That was the first time that's ever happened.
So Sarah and Sonny are going to come back and tell us the second part of the story. And we are looking forward to hearing the rest of their story. Thank you both for joining the Fractured Families podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Fractured Families podcast. I hope our conversation has provided you with support, understanding, and actionable insights to help you navigate your own family challenges. Remember, healing is a journey, and reaching out for help is a sign of strength. You're not alone. If you found value in today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your support helps us reach more families in need. You can contact me on social media at Parental Alienation is Real, and visit our website for additional resources and ways to get involved. Stay strong, stay connected, and keep fighting for the family bonds that matter most. Until next time, take care and stay resilient.